I've suffered with back issues for a large part of my career, a lot due to the architecture, the bending over, and just the way work was. But managed most of it through physical therapy. And then about June of last year, all of a sudden, man, it just kept getting worse. And then it started deteriorating really rapidly. And I couldn't do anything with the stretches. I was getting pains all of a sudden all the way down the legs. And it was just really getting miserable. About 18-degree curvature of the spine. And also realized when I looked in the mirror, I couldn't stand straight. And you know, it was bone on bone, and it just looked terrible. And so I tried some more physical therapy. You know, it was marginal, but I was still getting worse all the time. And I was then scheduled to come back, and I was looking at the only option probably was fusion. Everyone I talked to said, avoid it. My dad had had it. Real familiar that it just doesn't solve everything. And also last minute they said, you know, we're switching you over to Dr. Hodges. And I said, well, okay. And I went in and went over and again telling him, I don't like fusion. I'm in good health. I want to have a very active life. My dad lived to 100. I expect to have a lot of years of activity. And you know, this is just getting where it's not livable. And he said, well, maybe you're a candidate for, BalancedBack. And being an architect engineer, you know, I quickly looked at stuff. I said, you know, that's the best answer I could imagine. I knew the others were bad choices. And this just logically, structurally made all the sense in the world to me. And, you know, I was right away on board. And he said, take your time, go look at stuff, think about it. And then, we can talk about where you want to go from there. You know, I shared the information with people like my brother, who was a real skeptic of anything. And he looked, and he's got bad back, and he says, you know, maybe this is the best answer. It's the team and the staff and the quality of care I've got here is way beyond anything I'd experienced in any other surgeries or anything. And unfortunately, I've had a few. You know, I've had shoulder surgery, knee surgeries, and been abusive to myself, but there's been nothing like this team and what they do and how focused they are to making sure everything's perfect. And it's the way medical care should be done everywhere. You know, they follow all things, do everything careful, but it's not to the craziness that all they do is chart stuff. You know, they're about patience here. That's the difference. They moved me from 18 degrees to almost 8 degrees. I mean, that's unheard of, and that wouldn't have happened any other route. Recovery was fine. I mean, you know, I felt actually pretty good right off. I wasn't any miserable pain or anything. I knew I'd had some work done. My back was a little sore and stuff, and definitely a few issues, but nothing significant. And then, especially at night, the night nurses were great. I was up within just a couple hours, I think it was, 6 hours after surgery, walking. The difference is BalancedBack versus, some other form of back deals. 5 days out, I walked 20 minutes up the beach on sloping sand, moving sand, in the water, holding hands with Judy, and had a nice lunch and walked 20 minutes back. Like my dad, I think he was like months before he was able to walk again at all. And, and other people that, they've had fusion or something else, and you can do trimming and stuff, but it just doesn't last long. I mean, the real crutch of this thing is it's a fix. It's good for a long term. I mean, those things aren't going anywhere. I mean, they're in there, they're solid, and I've got no hesitation of movement in any direction. That doesn't happen with other solutions either. So just to do that at 5 days and be able to get back to a life, it's awesome. If you got to get it done somewhere, this is the best place to do it. Looking forward to, well, I'm not looking forward to going home, actually. I kind of would like to stay a few more days because it's so enjoyable, but, getting back to painting, doing more art again. So.